Attention! Air raid warning, the voice says with the dignity of a Jedi Knight. Go to the nearest shelter. A surreal moment in an already surreal war actor Mark Hamill's solemn, but calming baritone from Star Wars. Luke Skywalker urges people to take cover when Russia launches another aerial armament of Ukraine. The entry of Hollywood's sci-fi fantasy into the brutal daily realities in Ukraine is a result of Hamill's decision to give his famous voice to Air Alert, a downloadable app linked Ukraine's air defense system. As air raid sirens begin to howl, the app also warns Ukrainians that Russian missiles, S&LY exploding drones may be on the way. Don't be careless, advises Hamill's voice. Your overconfidence is your weakness. From afar in California, the actress says she appreciates how Ukraine was so resilient under such terrible conditions. A man takes a photo of himself holding his smartphone in Kiev, Ukraine on Monday, using the Air Alert app showing areas under Russian rocket attacks at the time. May the force be with Ukraine. His fight against the Russian occupation, now in its second year, reminds him of the Star Wars saga, he says, where brave rebels battle and eventually defeat a vast empire. Voicing about English version of the Airstrike app, and giving it Star Wars touch was his way of helping. A fairy tale about good versus evil resonates with what's going on in Ukraine, Hamill said in an interview with the Associated Press. The people of Ukraine unite for the cause and respond so heroically. It's impossible not to be inspired by how they weathered this storm. When dangers from sky have passed, Hamill announces the end of weather alert via app. He then signs it with a refreshing quote, "May the force be with you." Hamill is also raising funds to purchase reconnaissance aircraft for Ukrainian frontline forces. He signed Star Wars-themed posters that were in the lottery. I'm sitting here in the comfort of my own home when Ukraine has power cuts, food shortages and people are really suffering, he said. It motivates me to do my best. The app also has a Ukrainian setting, voiced by a woman, though some Ukrainians prefer Hamill to deliver the bad news that another Russian armament could be imminent. WATCH Canadian soldiers train Ukrainians to neutralize landmines. Neutralizing Ukraine's LY landmines. Duration 533 deadly landmines cover a large area of Ukraine, posing a danger to civilians and the military. Canadian soldiers train Ukrainians on how to find and neutralize dangers. This is a skill that will be needed for years to come. Life is on alert on the worst days. Sirens and app ring every few hours day and night. Some turned out to be false alarms, but many others are real and often fatal. 24-year-old app user Bohdan Zvonik, who lives in the city of Lviv, which has been subjected to repeated attacks in the West, says that he chose Hamill's voiceover instead of Ukrainian because he was trying to improve his English. He's also a Star Wars fan. Besides, he said, we can use some of the power Hamill wishes us to. After a warning, Zvonik was getting on the trolley bus when Hamill's voice came on his phone. To describe the Russian forces, the man in front turned to me and said, "Oh, that goddamn Sith," with a smile. The Sith are malevolent enemies of the benevolent Jedi. Alina Yeremina, 38, business manager in the capital Kiev, said Hamill's signature, "May the force be with you," initially made her laugh. Now his persistent humor gives him strength. That's a very cool expression for this situation, she said. I can't say I feel like a Ukrainian Jedi, but sometimes the sentence reminds me to square my shoulders and keep working. With his pebbled yet calming baritone, Hamill urges people to take cover. He also signs them when the danger has passed, saying, "May the force be with you." Sometimes it's wise to turn off Hamill. He was not alone. Another person in the subway car also had the app, and it exploded. The two of them swore at first, but then, it made both me and that person smile, Jeremiah remembered. Ajax Systems, a Ukrainian security systems maker that co-developed the app, hopes Hamill's star power will encourage people outside of Ukraine to download the app. With Mark's approach, it won't be that scary, said Valentin Hrtsenko, Ajax's marketing manager. But somehow they will understand the context. In first year of the occupation, more than 19,000 air raid alerts were issued across country, so of course people are getting tired, he said. People sit on the subway using it as a shelter during an air raid alert in Kiev, Ukraine, October 20, 2022. Hamill said in an interview with the Associated Press that she remotely admires Ukraine's resilience in California. The app has been downloaded more than 14 million times. Pritsenko is among those who use the English tune to hear Hamill's voice. "Sounds really great for Star Wars fans," he said. Finding some humor, or trying to be positive even in bad situations, is a kind of Ukrainian mentality. Hamill is pleased that the sci-fi saga has temporarily transported people back to his galaxy far, far away. Everyone is turning 6 years old again. And if the movie helps people get through tough times, it's all the better. WATCH Canada expands program to resettle Ukrainians fleeing war.